just gaining, also being able to write in both languages, and that just made me feel very uplifted.
I know exactly what you mean. And also, I was looking at my note here, the Magic Sober, it appeared in a documentary in your country as well, right? So it became...
Yeah. I wrote it for that documentary. I was doing the whole score for the documentary. Yeah. And the director of the documentary asked, couldn't you write a song in Norwegian in the end? And I was like, what, in Norwegian? I've never done that before. And then when I wrote it, it felt really weird and like very
strange, right? Yeah.
Language that I also speak, but now, of course, it's becoming a very important part of the communication with my Norwegian audience as well. That I feel like, of course, they have an extra dimension, and they see the most of me anyway because I tour mostly here. So it's a very nice extra bridge somehow to have that language thing with the Norwegian.
Absolutely. You didn't know that? You didn't perceive that the song will be a hit at all? From your
it's a very quiet song. It's about like it's a song for me that has to do with growing up and figuring out. You can do it. You could probably throw it through Google Translate and see what it gives you anyway. But it's a song about kind of growing up and trying to become who you really are. And I don't know. In the end, there's just love, and that's it. And it means a lot. It's that when you write something that's very, 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 very personal to the point where you kind of blush when you sing it, then all of a sudden it's universal. And that's, I guess I heard people say that many times before, but I never experienced it firsthand myself. Because you can't really plan that. You just have to, that kind of I don't know, vulnerability somehow that you need to be able to put down in the song, that you can't really just speculate in that. It just has to happen somehow. And I guess it did with that song.
It did, absolutely. What about another song? I don't know how to pronounce the Neary thing. How the song came together.
But you know what? That's a cover.
That's a beautiful song.
Yeah, it's a good song. It's actually, it was a big hit back in the 30s in Norway.
I know, yeah.
Thing is that it's a song, the lyric is about how we all this was a big hit back in the 30s, about how we all kind of spend too much time looking at other people's lives, wishing we were somewhere else than where we are. And I just found it so interesting that was written then, because when I looked at the lyric, it was like, isn't this about social media? Oh no, it can't be, because it was written in 1938 or something. So that was just, I thought it was very satisfying to find like such an old song, and it resonates really, really intensely with the situation today, you know. So that was funny.
What about the other? How you decided to put together the Only Just Began, which is a well-known song here in the United States, but why you decided to put that song? What it meant to you that Only Just Began?
I'm sorry, I lost the last 10 seconds of the question.
Yeah, I would say how the Only Just Began came together. Mm-hmm. Why you decided to put that in Juliet, which is the first album that you put together?
Well, how do you decide to write any song? I guess it just showed up one day. There's an American song called Only Just Begun, isn't it? The Carpenter song?
The Carpenter,
no. Yeah, they told me at the record label, and I said, well, would you mind if I just, because I always been thinking that my song was called Only Just Begun. I didn't know about the Carpenter song. No, I don't know. You mean what it was about, or why?
No, what it meant to you to do it. I mean, that you answered the question. You didn't know that was a famous Carpenter. Yeah, Carpenter was very famous here in the South.
Yeah. I know quite a lot of Carpenter song actually, but that one
you didn't know that, yeah.
I really love good singers, but I never kind of I never listened to all of it, so I didn't know about that song. I'm sorry.
It's okay. What about another song that I want to bring to the? What about Paradise? It's also very, all these four songs I have listened to most of the stuff of yours. So they're narrating, the man checks over, and then Paradise also is a beautiful song, man.
Yeah, thank you. Well, that was written while I was in maternity leave, so it was kind of written.
Yeah.
It was written while my son was sleeping, so I kind of written very like, oh no, don't make a sound. I was singing very, very quietly, not to wake him up, and I who was the initiative behind the charity project, and he's if you like eclectic jazz musicians, you should really check out Bugge, who is a legend in Norwegian and European jazz, I would say. So I've been listening to Bugge Wesseltoft since I was probably 15 or 16. So to be able to go to his studio and record a song with him was extremely big deal for me. And he was just, such a sweetheart and just easy to work with. And I had the idea that wouldn't like it be beautiful to bring in a Syrian or Afghan or singer or folk singer, someone who actually did that or took that journey of being a refugee, and he with beautifully, and we recorded the whole thing in one day, so it was really smooth sailing in art, artistically, and yeah, it's grown on me, and I've received. It's interesting. I received quite a few like different dance videos of all things with this song from people who like modern dancers dancing to this song, and it's extremely moving to me to see these physical interpretations of my music out there in the world somewhere. It's fascinating. Yeah, so Paradise was a good experience. So I'm so happy with that collaboration that I'm going to record in just a couple of weeks. After Easter, I'm going to record more new songs with Bugge Wesseltoft, the same guy that I did Paradise with.
Yeah, later on I will check his out because I love jazz too. I mean, I have the other radio is jazz and rock, where I play Genesis, Peter Gabriel, jazz musician, and your music is, I'm playing that in the kind of soft rock, and I will send you a link for everything where the interviews are posted. Another beautiful song is Back to Love. You told me that it was part of the Netflix original Lillehammer series.
Yeah. I sang it. Beautiful
place.
Yeah. I sang it. It was really. It was very. Of course, flattering that Mr. Van Zandt, who has been so deeply merged into music and rock and roll for so many decades, he just took his people, kind of reached out to my people. And when I finally got to meet him and sit down with him, he was like, this is a really good song. And I kind of, I took him seriously. I guess he knows his he wanted to put it in the show, and he wanted me to perform in the show and everything. So it was cool. It was a big deal. It was fun to meet him, and grateful for the kind of boost he gave my song, because that was it was really, it was on my first album, but this happened a couple of years later, and I still get messages from people who discovered or has been listening to my music because of my appearance in that show. So Back to Love for me was I think it's actually one of the first songs I ever wrote.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a kind of for me, it reminds me of this apartment I was sharing with a friend, where we had an electric piano under the window, and it was always a little bit cold, so I had to sit with like extra sweaters and blankets whenever I was writing, and that's kind of what I'm thinking about when you ask me about that song.
Yeah, that's okay. Are you working a new album? You mentioned. You say, are you working on a new album at this
Yeah,
moment?
I'm just gonna go move back to the other because now I'm alone again because I think the connection was a little bit more stable over here. Yeah, I'm working on new songs, and of course, since I'm not sleeping that much during the night, since I have a small baby and everything, it's I don't get, and it's a lot of stuff happening around me at home all the time because of the pandemic and everything. I don't have like long stretches of time to write, but I get kind of a little bit of good amount of work done every day. So I'm hoping that I can probably get an album done maybe in 6 months or something. Yeah.
And then when you say you don't dedicate much, are you working in music like 2 hours a day or so, or 3 hours a day? What you say?
Today maybe a little bit more, but it's also a very it's work that demands a lot of you, like concentration wise and dedication wise. So it's to be to have a 2-year-old and a baby. It's not the easiest thing, but it kind of, I was really happy that when I sat down to start working with that song Paradise, for instance, I was really stressed out and I thought, oh, I should never have said yes to doing this. I have like a small baby and what was I thinking? But then of course, when I took the time and created those pockets of time to be able to kind of write and be by myself, of course, I felt extremely happy about it. And just, it's very overwhelming to become a mother and become a mother of.
Yeah.
It's a game changer. So it's been really nice to go back to the music and remember that, oh yeah, it's true, I do this. This is me. So now I'm this year I worked on a play with a friend of mine who was directing a play, and I made the music for the play. I've been filming a little bit. I've been writing a little bit. I'm going to the studio after Easter. It's not in a huge tempo, but it's okay for now with small kids and global pandemic, everything.
I got you. And then in terms of music that you're listening to when you're at home, right? Hopefully you have some time, or driving the car. What kind of music do you listen to when not your own stuff? What kind of stuff you put in Spotify or your CD player or whatever? What kind of?
Well, I don't listen to music as much as I did when I was younger. I think music is a very big thing for me. So if I'm really tired, I usually prefer silence, because if I put on music, I think about the music. I'm not that, I don't do background music. But the last new album that I started listening to that I really thought was very beautiful was I found this Icelandic artist called JFDR. She recorded an album called New Dreams, which is very esoteric, beautiful, Icelandic indie poppy, very calm but still very emotional music, very nice. And some places full of kind of non-verbal music. I listen a lot to classical music, actually, when I'm that because I think so much about lyrics all the time. So when I'm listening to music on my spare time, I think it's really nice to just have instrumental music, actually.
Otherwise, you get into your head that you'll begin.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit I don't really have the ability. It's like if I'm at a dinner party, and I'm never at dinner parties for them at the moment, but back in the old days when we still went to dinner at each other's houses.
You know what you mean, yeah.
If there was a really good song playing and people were having a conversation, I would kind of always, because I'm really bad at kind of over. I can't shut music out, I guess. So yeah, I try to do, and I actually do listen to a lot of church music, like psalms and organs and like mellow stuff from that kind of world. But a lot of silence as well, actually. Yeah. But yeah, you should check out JFDR from Iceland if you want to have some like nice, airy pop music.
Yeah, I'm always
She's really good.
yeah, for me, I'm always, as I say before, I'm always looking for new bands. I mean, I have a lot of music, as fourth floor of hundreds of thousands of CDs and record. But I'm always looking for new people, new people. Like I never ever heard about you, if it wasn't for Spotify and Louis and of course, and many. So for me, I have a wide range of music, from classical, from jazz. Of course, I like Mozart, I like Bach, but I like rock and roll. Like from Genesis, Peter
Did you
Gabriel.
come from? Did you discover music through rock and roll, or?
Yeah, so I was born in Chile, in South America, and my dad
Mm.
have a lot of music, so jazz and tango, so all jazz,
Mm.
jazz, the Louis Armstrong. Okay, so my dad began putting music at home. He told me when I was 2 days old, maybe, and then in high school, when I was 14, when I bought my first record, I I like rock, like Genesis, like Pink Floyd, Peter Gabriel, Depeche Mode, Led Zeppelin, that kind of stuff. So that was my thing. But then Pat Benatar, then Blondie, then Coldplay, and many thousands of others. So I like different things for different reasons, different days,
Yeah,
different time of the
and for
week,
no reason.
for no reason.
Doesn't have to be any reason.
like
Yeah,
like
it's
like I
that's the
told you,
beauty.
the man's get sober. Very likely I will listen to the song tonight for the next 10 days. Tonight when I'm working, I'm a computer engineer. So when I'm not doing interviews and music, I need to go to work later on, and I will put my headphone, and I will listen. That I found that song so beautiful, man.
That's very cool. And of course, when it's in Norwegian, I won't disturb you because then you won't.
Yeah, I won't
You
understand.
won't
So I went outside, and there is a
hear
website
to the
that
lyric. But
the lyrics in
you
English.
sometimes you get the feel.
Yeah. You need to
Yeah.
do a you
Okay.
need to do a part two of the song, Ingrid. Version
Maybe.
two.
I think I'm actually doing that right now, to be honest. Like, at least emotionally for myself, I'm doing like a song. I'm trying to write a song about having kids, but it's really hard because it's the every word, no matter what you write, it feels like you use two big words or two small words, or it's a hard one. But I need to do it, of course, because it's been such a huge experience. I need to try to process this somehow. But I really feel that there's a connection between Mens jeg sover and this new song that it doesn't have a title yet. But I will be sure to let you know when it's
Let me
out.
know. Let me know. I know. What are your plans for the near future? If things work out and open up, and
For the near future.
yeah,
No,
have you signed the album you
you
plan
were
on?
yeah now you were yeah, I'm now Easter is coming up, so then I'm going to spend some time with my family.
Yeah.
And then or I spend all my time with my family, actually, to be honest. But we're going to spend it together at our cabin. And then after Easter, I'm going to go to the studio with Mr. Bugge Westertoft and record some new
Yeah.
songs. And I don't have enough, I think, for an entire album yet, but I'm kind of hoping that you get that whole kind of landslide feel when you start producing something, that it kind of becomes like a little bit of an avalanche that just kind of makes everything else fall into place. So yeah, I hope I'm gonna be able to record an album year and maybe get it out this fall, or maybe just on the other side of next Christmas. It depends a little bit on how it goes with how the whole global pandemic situation evolves as well. But hopefully I'll be back touring from May, June. Yeah.
And then where our listener can buy your music beside the Amazon or in your website, people can buy your stuff on?
Yeah, I think I'll probably make a very exclusive little batch of vinyl. I usually do.
I was planning to ask you next question. Yeah, I'm interested. I buy one of all the things you have.
Yeah, okay. No, I have a lot of vinyl here. I'll send it to you. And I just sent some vinyl to Italy as well. So I can do that. I can wrap up some albums and send them to people if they are interested. I have all my albums on but I at least have the guest, and I have actually I can show you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard this one. I also made this together with this fantastic jazz musician.
Oh yeah, in London, that's from Cuero. It's a beautiful album.
It's a cover album. Yeah. So I have a lot of those vinyls as well, which I'm really. That's kind of like almost like a dogmatic cover album where we played and recorded music or singing and piano at the same time in the same room. So it's more or less like a live album actually. It's just without an audience. So that's also available if anyone would like to listen to that, and of course it's on Spotify as well. But I have, and of course I will stay in touch, and I'll.
Definitely. I will send you an email, and then we coordinate.
You have to hear the Mens over part 2.
And I'm looking for that part 2. Yeah. And so what I want to do is, if things work out well for me, I'm going to be. My goal was to put music out there, release different radios, and then because I'm very picky in the song that I put in every station, I'm engaged with some companies, and very likely, if things work out, I'm going to be doing an exclusive radio for the people from SpaceX, and then maybe one for American Airlines. So your music is going to be all the Norwegian people, they're going to be there because I found the music. So if things work out, you're going to become you're famous, but you will have a little more famous than you are right now at this moment. So if things work out with all
that's fantastic. Thank you so much for rooting for me and helping me spread my music. That's I'm immensely grateful for that.
And then Ingrid, the last question: how far is Tønsberg from Oslo? I don't know where you.
Tønsberg?
Yeah.
Tønsberg. That is. It's not far at all. It's like
an hour train.
Is an hour and a half by car or something? 90 minutes maybe.
Well, people take the train too from.
Yeah, I think you can take the train to Tønsberg. Yeah. If you come here, you can take the train from the. You can first take the train from the airport to Oslo, and then Oslo to Tønsberg.
Yeah, because July 24, I think Kai Sakai is going to be playing in a venue called Foynhagen. In
nice venue. They've had a big festival in Tønsberg for many years now called the Slottsfjell Festival, but I don't know how. We're all kind of nail biting just if there's going to be any festivals, and how, because on single concerts it's a little bit more easy to have these restrictions than on a festival. That would be hard, I think. So but if you're going I'll if I could assist you in any way when you go to Norway, if you need tips or anything, just say the word, and I'll help you out.
Yeah, and hopefully I will see you live one day playing. I would love to.
Yeah. I can keep you posted if I have any gigs like around that time. But just say when you come to Norway, and I'll let you know if I'm playing.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a great afternoon there with your kids, and stay healthy. Keep on producing great music, and thank you very much for your time, Ingrid. I've been grateful
Thank you for
for the
helping
time
me
with you.
out.
No problem. Take it easy. Have a good
Bye.
bye. Thank you.